Hello everybody, Flamin' Shark back with another video, and this is the review to my blind commentary, blind reaction to Adventure Time Distant Lands Part 3, Together Again. This was awesome. This was great. This was, I recorded this on the night / beginning of the morning, midnight, whatever, around that time, the 31st of May, 1st of June. I actually recorded this before recording the Teen Titans Season 4 finale. You will be getting the Teen Titans Season 4 finale on June 1st, and then getting this video on June 2nd. But it was great. I mean, this felt, and I thought Come Along With Me was a pretty satisfying end to the story arc of Finn the Human and Jake the Dog. Or Jake the Dog and Finn the Human, maybe I should say it that way, like the OP does. But this managed to be, I feel like, an even better endpoint to the specific journeys of Finn and Jake. Like, maybe not to Adventure Time as a whole, but as far as Finn and Jake's character arcs, it felt like a fitting end to their story, the way that everything came together in Together Again. It was pretty fantastic, and it went in directions I was not really prepared for. Honestly, I did not see a lot of that coming, and it really kind of it was amazing, to be honest. And there were some incredibly dark, really interesting themes that they played off of in this special, and they kind of, I'm not positive about this, but it did feel like they set up Distant Lands Part 4, the finale of Adventure Time Distant Lands, with some of the stuff that happened in this episode. Because one thing I have noticed about Distant Lands is each episode has gone further in the future. BMO, of course, the BMO one was a prequel. Obsidian was well in the future. And then relevant to Obsidian, Together Again was well in the future. And I expect Part 4 to probably be shortly after the events of Together Again. I don't think there'll be a significant time skip, but it will still take place with whatever a certain potato is doing, I think, after the events of Together Again. So it does seem like the Distant Lands exists within its own chronology, where it seems like episode 1 was before Adventure Time, episodes 2 to 4 were after, but relevant to each other, they are one after the other, just with massive time skips in the case of some of them. Honestly, all of them so far have had pretty massive time skips. So, I mean, I guess it's possible there is a big time skip to episode 4, but it does seem like episode 4 might actually be shortly or more or less directly after the events of episode 3, which would be really cool. But regardless, whenever we do get that final episode of Distant Lands, you know that at some point, not too long after, I will be watching it and reacting to it, because I've loved these episodes. I really think they've each gotten better than the last. I thought BMO was really interesting. Obsidian was fantastic, and I think Together Again was even better than Obsidian, probably, even though Obsidian had the gay, so, hard to beat the gay. But I really, really love this special, and I don't know how much that came across in my reaction, because I think with this I was really just taking it in and appreciating all the stuff that they were giving us, and just the wildness of the fact that I was even watching this. Like, I feel like this storyline almost felt like something that, like, I'm like, it's amazing that they even did this. It almost felt like something that would have been like this goated fan animation for Adventure Time, not actual canon Adventure Time. It's crazy that really happened. It's crazy that episode of Distant Lands was a real thing. And it's weird because I kind of feel that way about each episode of Distant Lands. It really does, and I say this in a good way, but it really does feel like a fan-made after show, for lack of a better term. And it's hard for me to explain why it feels that way, but I mean like a super high quality, like fan series or something. Like, it just has this feel of, like, it fits so perfectly into Adventure Time, but in really with all 3 of these stories, but especially episode 3, I can't really believe they're doing them. Like, it's there's something about it that just feels like, wow, this is a real thing. This is really part of the canon of Adventure Time. And it's just like, man, that's awesome. I don't know. It's hard to explain it, but I've gotten that feel out of really all three of these, but I feel like this is the first one where it really hit me like, holy crap, they're actually doing this. And it's like, wow. I mean, just the freaking title cards, because we got 3 of them in this episode, and all 3 of them were goated. We got Finn and Jake. Finn and Jake are dead. And Finn and Jake are together again. And I mean, just the whole narrative of this special was just so well pieced together. I feel like from beginning to end, it always made sense, and it just worked. It just worked. I mean, this was my favorite. I mean, this was just my favorite special, and I loved the last one. And I think the last one had more of a reaction out of me because it was things I really liked were heavily focused on in the last special. But this one was just so well put together, so well structured. I mean, how could you not love this? I mean, this was phenomenal. I absolutely adore what they've done with Adventure Time Distant Lands. I think they've done about as good of a job as you could with a sequel series, and they've essentially made one of the best animated Western series of all time, in my opinion, and one of my favorite shows of all time, even better with this sequel series, or the sequel epilogue mini series, whatever you want to call Distant Lands, with these 3 episodes. And I imagine this will continue with the final episode of Distant Lands. They have improved upon a series that was already, in my opinion, one of the best series of ever made, really. It's very high up my list, but certainly as far as Western animation, it is arguably the greatest, in my opinion, but is certainly in the top 5. But this absolutely incredible show, and they've done this series, which, while I was super hyped for it, there was a part of me that wondered if it was really going to be Adventure Time quality, and it's managed to not only be Adventure Time quality, but in many ways be a lot of the best elements of Adventure Time condensed into this short series, and it's just been phenomenal. And I can't tell you how excited I am to see what in the world they're going to do with that final episode of Distant Lands. It's going to be so interesting, and I'm so excited to see what the hell it's going to be. And I don't know if that's going to be in like late 2021 or early 2022. I imagine it'll be around the end of this year, if not early next year, but probably around the end of this year would be my guess. But wherever it'll exactly land, probably another 6 months or so is my general thought. But whenever we get it, I am going to be very interested to watch it. And I'll be very excited to do a proper kind of rewatch of Adventure Time sometime probably next year, once Distant Lands is over and I can go through the entire series and Distant Lands, and kind of watch Distant Lands right after having finished an Adventure Time rewatch. I think it'll be even more satisfying to go through Distant Lands with all of that kind of more firmly in my head. I mean, there were a lot of references to Adventure Time in this part that I did get. I think I got most of them. So there was so many references to the main series in this part that were just really cool and really fucking fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed them, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I thought it was awesome, and like I said, probably my favorite part. I think from a reaction perspective, maybe that was still part 2, but I think part 3 was just the best episode overall of Distant Lands, and the story and the message and the deeper meanings behind it all was just superb, and was classic regular show philosophy and just classic regular show. Why am I saying regular show? No, it really actually isn't. I mean, actually, I guess some of the themes actually do kind of relate to regular show, but I don't know. I guess I've been watching too much of Kick-Ass's regular show videos. He's almost done with regular show. That's going to be crazy. And that'll be awesome. I don't know where regular show came from. I love regular show too. It's like a little less than Adventure Time, but I still do love regular show. That's another pretty goated show. But Adventure Time, regardless, I do love me some Adventure Time, and Distant Lands has not disappointed in the slightest, and I'm super excited for the finale of Adventure Time Distant Lands whenever that might drop. But for the time being, we are once again caught up to date, done for the foreseeable future at least, with Adventure Time. But I will see you another time with the final episode of Distant Lands. Not sure when, but whenever that drops, a little while after. we will get to that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't really have that much else to say about this. So yeah, you want to support me, there's links down below in the description. I don't know if I already said that, whatever. Flamin' Shark signing out. Hope you guys, well, I mean, Patreon to support me. The rest of them you can check out if you want to, though. Flamin' Shark signing out. Hope you guys have a wonderful, fantastical day, and I will see you next time with another video. Thanks for watching. Peace.